Thank you very much for staying with us here on Joy News Prime. Let's bring you some more stories. And starting tomorrow, Thursday, 21st April, members of the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana, CLOGSAG, will stay away from work in protest of government's failure to pay them allowances in exchange for their neutrality. CLOGSAG says the neutrality allowance forms part of a memorandum of understanding entered into with government on January 20, 2022. We'll bring you details of a communication to the regional secretary signed by the executive secretary of CLOGSAG, Isaac Bampo Ado. We'll bring you those details shortly. And it says notice of intention to proceed on strike due to non-implementation of neutrality allowance. The National Executive Council of the Civil and Local Staff Association of Ghana, CLOGSAG, on Tuesday, 29th March 2022, to discuss the status of implementation of the Memorandum of Understanding entered into with government on the 20th of January. Now, it was noted that the payment of the neutrality allowance has not been effected as agreed in spite of official reminders and follow-ups to the Finance Ministry and Economic Planning. The National Executive Council therefore decided that CLOGSAG should embark on an industrial action to press on its demand for the implementation of the MOU. So that is it there, and the strike is supposed to start from the 21st, that's tomorrow, in demand of this neutrality allowance. Well, we can hear from a labor expert, Austin Game, but before then, let's go onto the phone lines now and speak to the National Labor Commission Executive Director, Ofosu Asamoah. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on Joy News Prime. So, does CLOGSAG have your blessing for this intended action? Well, we seem to have lost Ofosu Asamoah on the line there, but let's hear from Austin Game. He has been speaking about this decision by CLOGSAG to embark on the strike because of the neutrality allowance.
Let me say this. Neutrality, as far as I am concerned, as a teacher of labor relations and conflict resolution, neutrality is about use of language. It's about proper and effective use of language in a manner that helps parties to resolve their differences. So maybe they are talking about impartiality in the true sense that it denotes what it's supposed to be, but they are using neutrality because that is what everybody else have been using. So granting that that is what they want to do is entirely in the domain of the employer to design a system that helps. My assumption is that the civil service is expected to be apolitical.
So that's Austin Game. He's a labor consultant. Let's speak to Ofosu Asamoah now, the Executive Secretary of the NLC, that's the National Labor Commission. Thank you, sir, for your time here on Joy News Prime. Do they have your blessings to go ahead with the strike?
No, they don't.
They don't? Why is that?
Well, they gave the notice of the strike, and then the NLC made the necessary intervention.
Mr. Asamoah, if you could just speak up for us. You're saying that the notice of the strike did not come in time?
No, it came, except that we make the necessary intervention to make sure that it doesn't mature into an active strike.
Okay, so you've been engaging them?
Yes, we brought them together at the National Labor Commission last week, and then we gave them the chance to further engage with the Ministry of Finance, which has been ongoing, including today, this morning till evening. So, there is no strike tomorrow, no.
And so you're saying that as at this evening, in your engagement with CLOGSAG, the decision was reached that this strike will not come off?
The engagement was between CLOGSAG, the Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations, the Ministry of Finance, and the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. It did not include the National Labor Commission.
Okay.
We met them last week.
And so you're saying that if the strike goes ahead tomorrow, it will be illegal?
There will be no strike going on tomorrow. I have personally spoken to the CLOGSAG General Secretary. There is no strike. national executives have not mandated any strike. And there's no strike tomorrow. The circular meeting rounds was that of the 5th of April. That was before the NLC's intervention. So after the NLC's intervention, there is no strike tomorrow.
Very well. But just clarify for us, what does this neutrality allowance entail?
Or it's an allowance which is paid to the civil service and local government service people, as they are not allowed to take care in active political activities in the country.
But that is already a requirement in law, in the constitution. Why pay them to do their work?
And they are being compensated for it.
I help me understand, why should they be compensated for what the constitution, for what the law requires of them?
Yes, but if the law imposes a duty or otherwise on you, and you are being paid for that, to abiding by it, well, that is a negotiation between them, the fair wages and government. National Labour Committee is not part of it. So it can be best explained by the party who signed on to it. So the Minister of Employment will be the best person to answer this question.
Very well.
We as a commission only deals with the performance or the delivery on what parties have attempted to, so that it doesn't result in either strike, lockout, or any industrial unrest. We have to maintain the peace, and that is what we did. But as to the reason behind the payment or otherwise, it is the minister who can answer.
And how much are we looking at in terms of percentages?
They signed on to 20%. That is what the argument that was brought before the commission says. 20%.
20%.
Of basic. Yes.
Mr. Samoa, I'm grateful for your time. That's the Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission speaking to us there. He says there wouldn't be a strike tomorrow. Well, we'll follow up and bring you updates here on Joy News.